Hey guys, it's Sarah from Just My Typewriter, and one of my favorite pastimes is actually just scrolling through Facebook Marketplace for fun. I will sit there for hours looking for typewriters on Facebook Marketplace, and every once in a while I'll just change that location option at the top, set myself in somewhere random, and look at typewriter postings. It's just a way that I spend time because I'm strange. But every once in a while I'll run into some really weird things on there, and I like to share them with you because you guys seem to find it interesting, and sometimes you can find a really good deal on Facebook Marketplace. All of the typewriters on this table were actually from Facebook Marketplace for very affordable prices. So I like to look at it, I obsess over it a little bit, and I've decided to make a third video on it. So welcome to the Return of the King, the third Facebook Marketplace video. Now, this is not normally how I look when I am going through Facebook Marketplace in the middle of the night, just cackling to myself over posts. So let's get a little bit more accurate with our representation, shall we? That's better. So let's go through some of these Facebook Marketplace posts that I found. I broke them down into category based on the funny thing about that post or what's interesting about them. I just love bad Facebook Marketplace. They just make me so happy. I hate filming these videos because they take forever, but I love just sitting down and going through the bad Facebook Marketplace posts that are out there. So let's go through some of them. In the first category, we have the bad photo. I've talked about this before and how to list typewriters on Facebook Marketplace. When you're listing something, it's really important to have an accurate description, a good price that you're going to accept for that item, and also a very good photo to show somebody what that typewriter actually looks like. But sometimes people don't know what they're doing and they just miss the mark a little bit. These are some bad photos of typewriters on Facebook Marketplace. This first one is very indicative of what bad photos look like on Facebook Marketplace. They're usually just blurry or only part of a machine. This one is a Sherwood typewriter, early 1920s, a little rusty, but still pretty good condition. And the photos of this machine are all off kilter and blurry, and none of them show the whole machine. And the last one is so pixelated, it kind of looks like a dot painting instead of a photo. Most people's phones actually take pretty high quality photos these days, so you'd have to try really, really hard to get a photo that bad. I don't even know how this happened. Here's a 1957 teal Royal Quiet Deluxe portable typewriter with carrying case. And I know that this was not my phone, just not buffering the information, because all of the photos are heavily pixelated, and this listing is still up there and it still looks heavily pixelated, and it's just so bad. It's so bad that it's good. Here's one. This is definitely a Smith Corona Skywriter typewriter, but you can see here this was probably taken in the dark because all of the pixels are like bright green and blue and just really bad. And the next photo, I think they must have taken this at like midnight, in the middle of the night. They really had to sell this typewriter, get rid of it quick. So they posted it and took photos in the dark. Or they're just trying to make it look better by only taking photos in the dark. So it makes you wonder what's wrong with that typewriter. Here's one. So there are 3 photos in this posting. This is a Smith Corona Sterling typewriter. The first photo is out of focus, but even out of focus, I can tell you that typewriter case is upside down. It's like a sixth sense, but it's so blurry and out of focus in the first one. The only in focus photo in this entire posting is the middle one, which is just the case, and it's still upside down. You know what? I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on this one. I'm sure it's a great quality IBM electric typewriter, perfect condition, and I can tell because they wrote it on a piece of paper. And that's the only photo they have in this you're really gonna have to take their word for it on it. Another one of my favorite categories of bad posts on Facebook Marketplace are actually painted typewriters. Now, I don't have a problem with painting your typewriter, obviously, but sometimes when you look at typewriters on Facebook Marketplace, you can tell they were not done with a lot of care or done professionally. And I always find them entertaining because somebody went out there with a spray paint can and just really had a great time. So here are a couple typewriters that are a little bit cringy that were repainted and then posted on Facebook Marketplace. This first one is a very salmon colored, but then the front panel isn't. You know what this is? This is the mullet of repainted typewriters. It's party on the outside and business in the front. You know what? I'm not mad about this one because it's only $3. Here is a repainted a decorative typewriter, And this one doesn't look like it was spray painted because you can kind of see brush strokes. So somebody went through with like acrylic paint and hand painted this typewriter. This is almost an Etsy worthy item. This is really handcrafted and well designed. Support your local artists. Wow. There's a lot of words that could describe this one. I'm sure you've seen pictures or Pinterest posts or memes of people who have repainted typewriters and they add those colored dots to the keys and then they put a painting in it like the typewriter is painting a photo every time you type on it. Newsflash. Just putting a different color on the key does not mean that the type slug will actually type that color for you. And in this case, I think that's what they were trying to go after. They have this iridescent blue-green finish, if you can call it a finish, over the rest of the typewriter, including the logo. I don't know why you would paint over the logo when you could just not. Here is a bright teal colored one, and you can actually tell in the photos that they kind of just spray painted the whole thing because they also painted over the chrome pieces of the typewriter, like the carriage return and all the levers across the top. So that one's gonna have to be, you know what? It's actually already in the yard, so that one would be good yard art. At the risk of sounding like Jigsaw, let's play a game called How Low Does That Hermes Go? Hermes typewriters are one of the most highly desirable typewriters by collectors and some of the most expensive typewriters that you can find out there on resale sites. They have this really beautiful seafoam green color to them. They have a nice rounded top design. They're from Europe, so they're harder to get in the United States. And they're endorsed by Tom Hanks, so of course they're going to be popular. And I run into these guys on all the resale sites all the time, and they're always so far out of my price range. But every once in a while you find a really good deal on Facebook Marketplace, and in this case, they just kind of make you sad because they're so cheap. And I don't understand why, and I feel bad that I missed out on them. Here's one that's very indicative of the market. This is a vintage seafoam green Hermes Rocket portable typewriter listed for $160. That's pretty comparable to the rest of the typewriters you could find from this brand, and that's not a bad price for a collector to pay for something like this machine. Typically they would pay that, but it goes lower. So this one is a Hermes baby typewriter listed at $40. I'm gonna let you cry a little bit. $40. But wait, it gets worse. Limbo lower now. Here is a $1 Hermes 3000 typewriter. It's $1. I want it for $1. And I don't even want one of those typewriters. It's just so cheap. I don't understand. I guess that just goes to show you that you can get really good deals on Facebook Marketplace if you're willing to wait, or hunt a lot, or if you're just looking to be sad and The Notebook isn't on Netflix, just go looking for really cheap versions of typewriters in your collection and feel bad about what you paid for them. One of my favorite categories of Facebook Marketplace posts is actually funny titles and misspelled titles. I just get such a kick out of how people describe their typewriters when they're trying to sell them on Facebook Marketplace. So here's one of my favorite categories, funny titles of typewriter postings. Let's start here with this Royalties manual typewriter. I think this is a typewriter that Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank would be very interested in because it's a royalty deal. Here's a 1931 Royal 12 typewriter. If it is actually a 12, that would make it very rare, but I'm pretty sure that that's a Royal 10. Here's one. I think this is just an interesting way to describe the typewriter. Accordion type. Oh, there are accordions in the back. I didn't even see those. That makes a lot more sense. I thought they were just describing the Remington as an accordion, but no, they're also selling accordions. I found a few posts like this and they just make me giggle. So here's one that says, Underwood, not free. And then the price is listed as free. A little bit of cognitive dissonance there. I'm not sure. Are you sure it's not a free typewriter? Because it says it is. And this is not the only one. Here's another one that says, typewriter, make offer, not free. But they dropped the price from $100 to free. I am guilty of this. When I'm typing something or writing an email or putting a caption on Instagram, I usually add exclamation points a lot just so that you know I'm in a good mood when I'm writing it. And this person also does that, but it does tend to make the title sound more exciting. So if we were to read this how they wrote it, Vintage Royal Typewriter, super cool, great decor. I'm happy for them. They seem very excited about it. Here's one that says, get your steampunk on, Smith Corona old school typewriter. I like typewriters that are listed with something funny like that. Get your steampunk on. I think that's a good way to kind of market your typewriter. I cannot for the life of me figure out what they're trying to say here. Vintage, worky typewriter. Now, were they trying to say QWERTY? Were they trying to say working? Did they try to combine those two words together? I'm not sure that that's how the English language works, but I could be wrong. Another one that says 1964 typewriter, working, vintage, price negotiable, not free, and then it's listed as free. Are you sure I can't negotiate it to free? Because you've dropped the price from $300 to free. Sometimes when people are taking pictures of their typewriters, they will have other things in the photos that they're not even aware are there. Like this one has a cat in it, and that makes me really happy. Here's one where this person took a photo of their typewriter and there's a Dr. Pepper can in the photo. And I can't tell if they're trying to use the Dr. Pepper can for scale because it's in every single one of the photos of this typewriter. And then in the description, they say, comes in case for PlayStation Portable. I'm pretty sure this model is not compatible with your PlayStation, but maybe you should try it. So this guy posted 2 postings of the same typewriter, and I can tell that they're the same guy posting them without even reading the description or checking out the name of the seller, because this one's called How Old Ass Royal Typewriter 1930s, and then next to it was another one labeled as Old Ass Typewriter. Definitely the same guy here. Here's an interesting one. This is listed as old typewriter, but it's a screenshot of someone else's post of an old typewriter. So it's kind of like the inception of Facebook Marketplace posts. And finally, sometimes when I'm searching for typewriters, I run into other things that are not typewriters, and I just find that interesting. There's some really weird stuff out there on Facebook Marketplace, including this one, which made me laugh, and it shouldn't have made me laugh, and I feel bad for laughing about it, but it's just so out there. This one was labeled as, he liked to watch TV, and it's a picture of a bagpiper in a cemetery, so I had to click on it, and in the description they actually talk about how they will write obituaries for other people, but it just made me laugh, and I know I shouldn't have. Why am I always running into sunglasses when I'm looking for typewriters? I swear they follow me everywhere. I could see how this one made it in there because it's kind of an antique. It's a lunar meteorite for the low price of $1,900. So if you're looking for a true antique, maybe go with a meteor. I think this one's really cute and it made me smile when I saw it. This is listed as just a paperclip, and the photo is the paperclip, and he's measuring the paperclip to show you that it is a standard size paperclip. And then in the description he goes on to say, looking to trade up, just seeing what I can get for fun. If you have any offers, let me know. Comes with its own carrying bag, and its own carrying bag is a Ziploc baggie. I just think it's so cute, and I'm very tempted to trade with this person just to help them on their journey. How could you not click on this? It's just so intriguing. I was looking for typewriters, and here's a posting for a $10 date. And in the description it says, I dance, $10. Date with Lord Vader, $40. I mean, the way he's eating that hamburger, how could you not? It's just so intriguing. I really like Facebook Marketplace. It's like the wild, wild west of typewriter sales, and all of the typewriters I have on this table actually came from Facebook Marketplace and were all under $25. So you can sometimes find a pretty good deal on there if you're willing to wait for a little bit and put up a search alert on your phone. And if you're just looking for a good time, try scrolling through Facebook Marketplace. It is just the weirdest place on the internet. If you're interested in more videos about Facebook Marketplace, I have some other videos in this series. It is now a trilogy, and I have those linked down below. I also have some other videos on this YouTube channel where I talk about typewriter collecting and repairs. And I also have an Instagram at just.my.typewriter where you can send me the weird Facebook Marketplace posts that you find in your area. I want to thank you all so much for watching today and remind you, you're just my typewriter. Today's tea of the day is maca tea. Not matcha, it's maca. It's supposed to be like coffee, but caffeine free. And really it just kind of tastes like chocolate powder in water with like tree roots, but I'm kind of into it.